Welcome back to the number one podcast in Ireland where we go into reality and talk about whatever we want. I am Usman running solo for this episode today, and this is the Into Reality podcast, episode number 59. So we're just one away from 60. Hmm, That's a very interesting thing to look at. I'm pretty sure we would have been a bit far more ahead if someone decided not to slack and change our whole schedule of putting out episodes of a podcast. But it is what it is. So, before we get into the usual episode, obviously, I just want to say this episode of the Anti Reality Podcast is proudly sponsored by my guest today. Goes by the name of Mr. Dubai. Welcome on back to the podcast, Mr. Dubai. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you today?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. And
Thank you for
yes,
bringing me back in the podcast. I always
it's a
enjoy when I come here.
it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. And like I was saying, this episode of the podcast is proudly sponsored by Mr. Dubai and Co., where we can put your investments into them and they will not let you down.
Of course.
And you promise to give people a 100% rate of instant returns.
Of course, if they don't like if they don't like they're investing in, and there's a refund, of course.
And that's the refund of the initial amount they put in, right?
Yeah, unless like they did something that's we're not responsible for or something against the contract, then yeah, refund most probably 100%.
But let's say, for instance, that someone decides to invest in 50,000 into you that goes and invests the money into certain projects across the city or maybe even across the country, and their rates start going down from 50,000 like 45,000. If they want their money back, are you going to give them back the 50,000 or the 45,000?
So let's say they invested 50,000 and then they got 25,000 return. If I promise them a certain interest or certain like amount of money in the end, let's say I told them you'll get 5% interest, and I wasn't able to meet that requirement, then I'll just give them back the 50,000 or like the money they put in initially. So I'll give them back the 25,000 and then add on top of it my own on money, something like that.
Okay, that makes
That's
sense.
of course like we if we made like a deal, for example, let's say I opened a new zoo and told him like it will bring a revenue of this guaranteed. If it doesn't happen, then it's their right to get their money back. It's a refund.
All right. So is that like for like business authorities, or and for like normal people, like they might go to a website of yours or an app where they can just put their money in and just invest that way, or how's it like?
Well, right now we're investing with big businesses most of the time. We're planning to make our business available for investment for smaller businesses and then soon for individuals. But for now, we're only working with like big companies because it's super hard to manage so many stocks, especially with like people with like lower, what's it called? I mean, like individuals, especially like someone would like what's it called, put $100 and then another $1. It's like so much. We're still new, so we're still working on it.
Okay, so for like Mr. Dubai and Co, is the business only interested in projects within Dubai, nationwide, or internationally?
Well, our company is more of so it's a local company, but it works internationally, so yeah, we have like some international branches.
So it's
May
already a so it's already a big company from the beginning.
it's kind of big right now. Yeah, it's not as big as our other competitors because, of course, like they've been there for a very long time and they do or like they're way bigger than us. We just have like very few international. Like we have like one or two branches in Europe, one or two branches, like one branch, I think, in America, and we're opening one soon in Asia and Australia this year. Of course, COVID like put back some stuff. We weren't able to open. We were planning to open the Asia one in 2020, and then the Australia one at the beginning of 2021. But because of COVID, we had some issues.
Okay. So for like for like Mr. Dubai and Co, do you believe in businesses looking at the main cities of the world being Los Angeles, New York, London? What else comes to my head? Um,
Beijing.
Johannesburg, Beijing, Shanghai, Tokyo. Is it just like that? Or is it like, no, we want to look into other cities that are not getting the same appreciation as these ones?
Of course, we try, like, of course, we have to do like businesses in these areas because they're the most accessible. That's one thing we have to keep in mind. But speaking of this, it's better also to try to expand to less populous city to try to help with the economy, for example, like you said. So right now, but sadly, right now, we're only like open in like big cities. The only, I think, minor city that were open in, like I would say maybe like like here it's local, maybe one branch in Ajman, which is like a small emirate compared to the rest of the emirates.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair
So
enough.
locally we're like we have so many branches around so many cities, but internationally we're only like in capitals or like business capitals essentially, so to speak.
Ah, that's very understandable. And obviously, before we move on, I'd just like to say a very personal thank you very much for sponsoring the Into Reality podcast. We have hugely benefited from your contributions behind the scenes, of course.
Of course.
So that's why I'm just saying a huge thank you for the sponsorship. We hugely appreciate it, and I do have to apologize if a certain someone tries to bring your credibility down. As for me, I don't do that kind of business.
It's okay. That's certain someone, understandable. He's quote unquote special, let's say. Okay.
Okay,
Of course, I would
okay, move.
invest in this podcast. Like, it's really fun. It talks about really interesting topics. It's very versatile, so it's not like something boring. Every week is different. Every week is something new. So that's why I really like your podcast. That's why I invested in it.
We appreciate that you love the content that we bring out every 2 weeks, as someone decided to put it. But nonetheless, we appreciate the content we bring out every single time, and you are hugely invested in it. So once again, we say a very huge thank you very much, or thank you so much.
Thank you to thank you. My English, excuse me. The past couple of days I've been like stuttering some words for some reason, and I thank you too for doing such a great work.
I mean, it's okay. Business associates, they're allowed to kind of slip off from time to time. It's not a big deal. They're still human beings at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yep.
Now, here's the one thing I want to touch on. I know it's been happening. I haven't gone in because it's not my concern. It then also brought into the conversation, but I just like to ask, like, what's this thing with your pet camel? I believe that.
Ah, Humpty.
Yeah, Humpty.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm like,
so
what's going on? What has
okay,
that
okay,
dude done?
okay. So the other like host decided it would be funny if he stole my pet camel, Mr. Humpty. So he kept him for a while, okay? And after like I did some quote unquote negotiations with him, he returned him and Mr. Humpty died a week later. So I got a new camel though, Humpty Jr. Rest in peace, Mr. Humpty. And it's okay now. Like I will make sure this doesn't happen again. The other host is like, I don't know, he wants my camels for some reason. He likes the camels. I don't know why he thought it would be funny to steal my camel, but it's in the past.
Strange indeed. But we move on. Very strange indeed. So, I haven't mentioned this, but this episode is a very interesting kind of video. I don't know if we're going to do this again, but we're just going to do it and see what happens. So, this episode is is called an open mic session where people can jump in onto the stream and we can talk about any topic that they have in mind. But also, of course, if the topic is too political or not for all audiences, then we will not talk about those. So if you want to jump in, the link is in the description on YouTube. Just go in, put your name, put a picture if you want. You don't have to, but it'll be appreciated if you did. And you can jump in if we allow you, of course.
Yeah,
So,
depending on your topic. Yeah.
yeah, depending on your topic. Like we said, if it's too political or not suitable for all audiences, then we will not talk about it. Because sometimes we do talk about politics in other episodes, but then, but that's not all the time. But when it's something serious, we have to get down into the nitty and gritty of it.
Hmm. Yep.
Okay, so we move on. So, Mr. Dubai, is there any topic as of the last couple of days, maybe last week or two, that you like want to shed some light on?
I'm not really sure, to be honest. The one thing that I say that happened recently that's kind of tragic is the whole Travis Scott situation. But other than that, I'm not sure if there's like any big news that kind of happened.
Yeah, I did hear about the whole Travis Scott thing that happened.
Yeah.
When I first heard it, I thought it was something that happened a couple of years ago, but I realized it was just recent. I was like, my God. So like, I don't know. Anyways, I one thing I do know is that 8 people passed away from the tragedy that happened. But that was not the whole talking point of it. What was the whole talking point of it was Travis Scott's apology video, which obviously did not come out sincere as it should have.
Hmm. And the fact that also like what another thing that was talked about a lot is how Travis Scott and the management team handled the situation in the first place. As actually, so from what I heard and what I saw is that the crowd essentially broke in through the gates like a couple of hours before the live show, something like that. So it was already crowded before the show started, and then more and more people started to come in. Travis Scott like was starting the show, and even though like when the tragedy started happening and people starting like getting injured, and people starting like someone actually died, uh, some people just tried to tell the crew to stop the show. But Travis Scott didn't stop until it was like too late. Like I think he played for almost 30 minutes straight until he realized something was happening and then stopped the show. Or I think he even continued the show. I don't recall exactly. And then after all that, he came out and then sent that really that apology video that seemed really unsincere, which just like even like brought another bigger wave of hate. So it's just such a bad tragedy that happened due to the mismanagement of the crowd control, the police, and of course Travis Scott himself.
Do you think the video was unsincere or he had no idea how to bring forward the message that he wanted to put out?
I think it's. I think it was more of a yeah. I think it was the second one because it's such a situation like he maybe felt like very guilty in the fact that he didn't stop the show immediately, and I feel like he wasn't able to like really apologize properly in a sense. But the biggest problem was how he didn't stop the show in the first place, even though he saw one person unconscious and stopped the show for like 5 minutes and then continued again, which is the biggest problem in my opinion. How he did he not see from a big stage what was happening? But I've never been in such a big stage, so I can't like be the judge of that.
Yeah, yeah, like none of us can really speak about it because, yeah, we haven't been. I agree, we haven't been in that kind of situation before. But like at least if you send something wrong, even if it's a slight bit, I mean, you do have like the power. Performers still have the power to like stop the show and see if they can try and get some medical assistance towards the person that's going through such complications. Now, like if I was in a situation, not like at the concert, because I'm taking it on a perspective of once the whole thing has already happened, like I think the first thing I would do personally is to find out like who are like the victims' relatives, like their parents, like their address, and like have like a person like personal letter, a personal letter written by myself, saying everything properly from start to finish. Have it checked to make sure that what I'm saying is is the right way to say it, and it gets sent to them. Now I know for certain that I won't get the reaction that I expect, but it's better for me to send my sincere apology and condolences than not do it at all. Because if you, if I haven't sent like some sort of apology or condolence at all, then people can take it into a way that I don't care about my fans. You catch my drift?
Yeah, I got your drift. Because if you don't apologize, then it seems you're just like an emotionless man who doesn't want to take any responsibility for the deaths of other, and he doesn't who doesn't care about his fans. Of course, he needed to apologize, like anyway. So now, if the apology was sincere or not, it seemed sincere, but now we can't also be the judge of that. You can't see what went through people's hearts just through a screen, you know? That's the biggest problem in general. You can't see it through people's heart. Now, the one problem Travis Scott is gonna definitely face is so many lawsuits, because you know it's America.
Yeah. And another thing that could possibly happen is I don't think they're gonna like. Obviously, they're not gonna stop doing all these shows and concerts and whatnot. That's not gonna happen.
I
I
hope it
think,
doesn't be the death of rave, because it seems like something people really enjoy. And if concerts, mosh pits, sorry, I think they're called mosh pits. I'm not exactly sure what
yeah,
they're called.
yeah,
Yeah,
they call
if
mosh pits on.
yeah,
Yeah,
people are concerned that after what happened, this could be like the death of mosh pits, especially because of the crowd control. What happened then? People died, and this could be a big problem.
I don't think mosh pits should end because that's not really the problem. I think it was just the lack of management and proper authorities. Was it
Hmm.
proper authorities or just proper protocols
Yeah,
set in
proper
place?
protocols. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's just the issue, and maybe they should just take that into consideration the next time they want to have another Travis Scott show.
Hmm. With any show, there should be proper protocol all the time, especially if some big singer like Travis Scott. Imagine, like, of course, there are gonna be so many people trying to break in and everything like that. So that's what happened. Also, I think the crowd should take some responsibility. Some of the crowd, of course, not most of the crowd was innocent. You know, they were crushed sadly. But some people, you know, the very few people, like they didn't take into consideration others also in a sense like when for example an ambulance trying to walk in, people were like not moving at all. The ambulance is trying to save someone, yet people don't move. This I saw a clip of that. That like disheartened me. Like, how can you not like let an ambulance try to save someone, and instead of you just trying to enjoy the show? So
Yes, seems like to me it's just them caring about themselves and not pretty much anything else
mhm. It
surrounding them.
was just whole chaos. That thing just went downhill since they started. Like the mobs just came in, everything just went downhill.
Yeah, it seems like it was doomed from the start.
Yep.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. Yeah, I get. Yeah, I mean, it's already happened. There's nothing much people can do but like to take, but like just look back at what happened and just take the look at what they should do, what they should improve on next time they have such situation happen. Because it's not like it's a thing that constantly happens. Like I know it's just the one time this has happened. At least from my understanding. Like other shows, I know that they would have done the right thing if such situation has happened. But this one was just unfortunate to not be it.
Yeah, I think nothing as severe as the Travis Scott situation ever happened. I don't think anyone died from crushing. Well, or maybe they did, but not as severity as like the amount of people who got injured and the whole situation that happened with the Travis Scott situation. I think it's like a one of a kind thing. But of course, I haven't researched and seen, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I get it. But anyways, rest in peace to the eight fans that lost their lives at the Travis Scott show that happened recently. So
And condolences to the families, of course.
yeah, who have been affected by the passing of the victims.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just move on to like a more lighter lighter topic.
More
Now,
positive.
yeah, is I wouldn't say it's old, but like it's been some time since the announcement of it has passed, and that's Jake Paul fighting Tommy Fury on the 18th of December in Miami, Florida. What do
Wait,
you
so
think? Okay, come
I
again?
actually haven't heard of that before. That's surprising. I don't know how did I not hear of that. So he's fighting Tom Fury on
Yeah,
December.
yeah, the 18th of December.
Huh, okay, that is gonna be a very interesting match to be honest. Jake Paul has like come a long way in his fighting career. But it's just that unfortunately he always seems to pick like the weakest opponents or opponents that are weaker than him in the perspective of the public. So it's like they always think it's like, oh, he just picked this because it's an easy fight or something. With this fight, I'm not so sure if it's like gonna be who's gonna win here because I'm just gonna be honest. All I know is Tom Fury is just a professional boxer, but I don't know like how what's his score, how many fights he's had, and stuff like that. So I can't really speak on who's gonna win here. So, but I just hope it's gonna be an interesting match, and unlike other most of his matches where it's like seems very one-sided.
Yeah, I get it. Like what I know so far is everyone knows with Jake Paul, it seems like he always tries to get easier easier fights. And to be fair, that's what it seemed like. Like he blocked a retired UFC fighter, and he somehow got the win on that.
Hmm.
Then he boxed a former NBA basketballer, also won that. So there's the case of Jake Paul picking easy fights and getting wins. But then with Tommy Fury, now if you don't know who he is, basically he is he is Tyson Fury's brother, or at least relative. I think is his brother, and everyone knows him because he appeared on a UK show called Love Island. If you haven't heard what that was, not gonna waste your time on it. Not gonna talk about it at all. But after Love Island, he decided to go into boxing, and he has a 100% win record. So, and yes, his fights are all against boxers, but people want to say that it's against boxers that are not all that. So that's the case with him.
So I think it's like the two amateur boxers are actually fighting for once. It's not like, so I think it could be both sides. And if that's the case, if you say like he actually won all his games and all his matches, sorry, and all of it was against like professional boxers, whether it's amateurs or like amazing boxers, it's still like a score, you know. It's like he just started boxing, so credit credit is due where credit is due. Okay, that saying was wrong, but you get my idea.
Yeah, it's actually it's give credit where it's due.
Yeah, give credit where credit is due. There it is. Yeah, now I remember it. So essentially, yeah, he won against fair fights. It's not like someone who's like and like a retired MMA boxer, sorry, MMA fighter, or some NBA player who has zero experience with boxing. This time, it's someone who actually has similar experience to him. So I think it's going to be an interesting match if that's the case.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Now, it seemed like for a while that he wanted to fight Jake Paul, but then it kind of seemed like now that he didn't want to fight him. But obviously, that was not the case. I believe he was just looking for more money just to be invested into the fight. Now, if
Yeah,
that's the
because
case, then for fair play to him, I'm not gonna say anything else.
yeah,
But
it is
but
fair play in the end of the day because you're doing this for money, but it's like also like yeah, it just depends from person to person how much you're willing to spend to have a boxing match.
yeah, of course. But now, like this is official. This the match is already interesting as it is, but now there's a stake at it because like all the other ones, like there's nothing at it. Here's an actual stake in this fight.
Oh,
So
what is
if
it?
Jake Paul loses, so the stake here is if Tommy Fury loses to Jake Paul. I don't remember the actual thing in context, but the main point is if Tommy Fury loses to Jake Paul, then legally, I don't know if it's going to be a permanent thing or it's going to be temporary, that Tommy Fury's name will be changed from Tommy Fury to Tommy Fumbles.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, there are okay, this fight is gonna be interesting. How about Jake Paul? Is there like stakes for him?
I don't know if there is,
It
but
better
I
be.
know
It would be unfair, you know. What if Tommy Fury won? Like he gets nothing? Nah, I think Jake Paul should change his name to Logan Paul, the twins, or something. I don't know,
Jake.
just like yeah, change his name to Logan Paul. And then whenever we talk to Jake Paul, oh, you're Logan Paul, right?
But I know that's my brother. I'm Jake Paul. Say, no, your name's it's Logan Paul.
Yeah, Logan. Maverick for life.
Yeah, I know that will hurt him because it will seem like he cannot get out of his brother's shadow.
Exactly. It's like rub salt on the wound.
Yeah, but I know that at some point that Jake Paul wanted to fight Logan Paul in a boxing match, and I'm just thinking, but why though?
Thing is, I would like if I would fight any of my siblings like a professional fighting match, especially if my younger sibling, I'll feel bad. I'll be like, damn, I can't fight my younger sibling. What if he loses? I'll embarrass him. Then I will either like try to let myself lose. Same thing. I think the little brother would have the same mentality. It's like, damn, I can't embarrass my older brother, you know, and so on. It's like I don't think you should ever fight your siblings in a boxing match. Not just that because it's not fun or it's not ethical. It's the fact that like none of you take the fight seriously. Unless like you just don't care that much, or it's staged. That's also a possibility, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of like this sibling rivalry, we're gonna come back to the whole Tommy versus Jake Paul thing. We're gonna come back to that, but I'm gonna give you a story that happened. I think this was like late 80s or early 90s. So
Hmm.
so back during the WWF, not WWE, WWF, back then
Yeah.
when wrestling was more serious than it is today. So there was the Canadian man known as Bret Hart, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. So the biggest wrestling show of the year was coming through, WrestleMania, and
WrestleMania. Yeah.
so he had a match on WrestleMania for the WWF Championship. Now now he had a sibling. He had a brother or sibling called Owen Hart.
Hmm.
May he rest in peace. And obviously, you know that wrestling is scripted and they try to play it as if it's a
Yeah.
legitimate thing. So so the story was between Bret Hart and Owen Hart was that Owen Hart is angry that he's the one person in the Hart family that's not getting the chance to be on the WrestleMania, be going to WrestleMania, and that he was taking his anger towards Bret Hart. So now with Bret Hart, he has the WWF Championship match. Not just that to focus on, but now he has his sibling trying to get into a rivalry with him. So what happened was this: there was an additional match added to the WrestleMania card where Bret Hart fought against Owen Hart.
Oh my God.
But then Bret Hart will then go into the main event of the show and fight for the WWF Championship. So going into that, the result of it was Owen Hart. So obviously the Owen Hart Bret Hart fight was the first match of the card, and Owen Hart won.
Oh
And then
damn.
yeah, Owen Hart won. He beat Bret Hart. And then later on at the night, at the main event, Bret Hart won the match and became the WWF champion. That closed off the show.
So technically, Owen Hart is technically the champion because he beats his brother, but because Brett is the champion, right? Technically speaking.
Yeah, I see it as a win-win
Yeah, for the
situation.
family. So
Yeah, it's a
they
win-win.
really so that he got a chance to play in the WrestleMania and won,
Yeah, he
and
got to
his
be in
brother
the
won the championship
yeah because Owen Hart got to be in the WrestleMania show and win,
and
and
win
also
against the champion.
yeah the future champion in a few hours later.
Yep.
So sometimes sibling rivalry it could be good, but also bad at the same time.
Yeah, because sometimes sibling rivalry could create some hate between the siblings, some bitterness, and in some cases, like in so much history, like monarchs especially, one siblings, slips poison to the other. One sibling, assassinates the other, takes his throne or his business, something like that, which is, and usually don't do this to family because getting backstabbed by your own blood hurts 1 million times more by getting backstabbed by any of your friends. Because you
Yeah,
expect your family to back you up no matter what, but they backstab you, it's painful.
yeah, it is. It is painful indeed. I agree.
Mm.
Imagine this. Imagine a movie where like there's a family and there's like these two siblings and the oldest one is always being being treated as the one as the one. He's getting everything. He's getting the attention. He's getting everything. and
Hmm.
the youngest sibling is left in the dark, left in the shadows, and
Yeah.
he's angry because he's not getting the attention. He's not getting attention. He's not given the opportunities or whatnot. So then he decides to leave home, go somewhere, don't know where for like a long period of time, and then later on down the line, the youngest sibling comes back, faces the oldest sibling, and they duel into like maybe like a combat, into like a fight, or probably like antagonist versus antagonist kind of fight, where it
Hmm.
goes to the extreme, both all out, both full power into it, and then and after at the end of it, the younger sibling tells the older sibling of he was angry, sick, and tired of him getting all the recognition, all the opportunities, all the glory, while he was left in the dark and had to go away. I had to go away and make his own path or not. So in a real life aspect is not the best, but in a movie or show,
Yeah, it would seem like epic or crazy. I think
ep-
some
epic
shows have done
storytelling.
something similar to this, or like animes, especially animes. I don't know why. In animes, like there is some social siblings, right? There has to be some family problem. I don't know. Either the father or like the big brother does something to the youngest sibling. The youngest sibling like goes out for revenge or something. I don't know. It's like a trope in anime for some reason. But it
Uh,
creates like very interesting stuff. I haven't seen it in a Hollywood movie before, I think. Maybe something similar here and there, but like, yeah.
Let me give you a backstory to one of the Mortal Kombat characters.
Sub
So
Zero?
no, 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 not him. Rain.
Oh, Rain. Okay. Tell me. I don't
So
know that much about Rain. I know he's supposed to be a monarch of something.
with Rain,
By the way, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't played the Mortal Kombat games or read the comic books.
or seen anything to do with Mortal Kombat.
Yep.
So here's this. With Rain's father, here's the thing. This is before Rain was born. His father already had a wife and two children. And then there's something called concubine. So Rain's father met a concubine, had some personal business, as I will call it.
Mm-hmm.
Then Rain was born, and then Rain's father killed his mother and tried to leave Rain for dead. But then, as he turned into a man and got his ability of water, make it rain or
Yeah.
whatnot,
Yep. Hence his
he
name.
he came back, killed his father, and made his wife watch him put her two sons in complete agony.
Oh my god, Rain. Oh yeah, I forgot. Rain kind of sociopathic. Well, anyone Mortal Kombat series kind of, cuckoo in the head.
Yeah. So it's like, so when I heard that, I was like, obviously the man was going to get it. He was going to get it.
Yeah. I bet Raiden, if was Raiden was there, he would be like, by the Elder Gods!
Yeah. But that was not even the fact that he went and killed his father. That wasn't the thing that made me go, oh. The thing that made me
He
go, oh, was the fact that he decided to spare the woman and
and
made
torture
her
his step sibling.
watch him torture her two sons. I'm like,
Yeah, his
oh
step bros. His
my
step brothers
god.
even like, bruh.
I said,
Savage. He's savage.
I said, his father must have put him in some kind of rage. And
Yeah.
I guess I mean, to be fair to Rain, you went and killed his mother. Why? Because you went and dealt with other affairs, even though you had a whole wife.
Well, it's a king, in those ancient times, kings, act like kings sometimes. Especially in those games, I don't know. Always a king has is either like perfect, has done nothing wrong, very innocent, and then gets assassinated, or is this tyrant who sleeps around with everyone and then has like 1 million children who want to beat him up, something like that.
Yeah, it's always something like that that's just messed.
I haven't seen like a king who's like good and bad at the same time. It's like I haven't seen a king that I felt empathetic for, even though if they were a villain.
Because here's the thing. For me, either a king. For me, there's three things. One, either a king is fully good. Two, a king who is good but might have some bad
Hmm.
intentions, or
Yeah.
they're just straight up evil.
Actually, one king that I would say, okay, spoiler to the Moses movie by DreamWorks. Uh,
I don't care.
have
You
you
can
watched?
just tell me.
Yeah. So there's this king of Ramses. Okay, he used to be in this story. It's according to the Bible, of course, for this story. So they're like King Ramses. So he was always like in Moses' shadow, even though Moses was adopted, and he was very close with Moses. And then later on, he becomes king. Then he becomes like a kind of a good king at first, and then he starts like enslaving people and stuff. And then Moses and him have like a dispute. And then in the end of the movie, you feel so bad for him, even though he does such atrocities. Like you should actually you should watch the movie if you want, so you can understand what I'm saying. I don't want to spoil too much. It's a good movie. Like the movie
Okay.
itself is really good, the animation and the production.
So what's the title of the movie?
It's I think wait, let me search for it. I think it's Moses most probably. And DreamWorks movie, let's see. The Prince of Egypt, yeah. It's the Prince of Egypt.
Yeah, I might go and check it out later on.
Yeah.
So while I was talking about Rain, here's another situation that kind of is similar but not fully the same. It's similar in
Mhm.
some way. You know Kitana.
Yeah, I know Kitana, of course. Oh yeah, there's so if you think about it, there's so many brother rivalries like Kitana, Melina, Sub Zero, and Noob, or like X Sub Zero, whatever. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
continue. You think about Kitana.
So this is not even about Melina. This is has to do with Kitana's parents. So
Oh my
her
god.
mother, her mother Sindel, was married to a man named Jared.
Yeah.
Now I don't know what he looks like, or he had some kind of ability. I did not
No
check
one
that.
knows. They just know he was a good guy. He's like was chill.
Yeah, I mean, I just played Mortal Kombat 11. That's where I know some of it from. Anyways,
Uh,
now she admits that she allowed her ex-husband Jared, to get killed and then move to Shao Kahn.
yeah. Oh my god. You know how everyone reacted because before Sindel, like in Mortal Kombat 9, from what I remember, she was like very nice lady. She was just being controlled by Quan Chi. She's an amazing mother. And then you have Mortal Kombat 11. Whoops, I let Shao Kahn murder my husband. Oh, now I get to sleep with Shao Kahn. Why not? Something like that.
Yeah, oh my goodness. And the other thing that sounds mental,
Yeah.
and this is thanks to Shang Tsung.
Typical
That
Shang Tsung.
now I think this goes back to Mortal Kombat 9, the game,
Mm-hmm.
where that he wanted to make either the exact copy or just a better version of Kitana.
Yeah.
And And for some reason, I don't know what went through his head when he thought, you know what? Tar cotton blood will do the trick.
Yeah, people who are into that shit. Bruh,
Because
why
I'm like,
cotton, bro?
listen, I can appreciate Baraka because he's a man that will do anything for his tribe and
Yeah,
make sure.
and
But
remember, he's pure tar cotton
yeah,
too, so it's not like,
yeah, he's pure Tar cotton. So it's like he's not a good guy or a bad guy. He's just like you just do anything for his tribe.
yeah, just
Make
leave his
sure.
homies alone and he will leave you alone. That's his rule. Unless he's
Yeah.
hungry, then he may kill you and eat you, but that's a different story.
But when when instead of making a perfect version of Kitana, he went and made Melina. I said, "Oh my god!" Now you
Ye-
you didn't mess up. I believe he did it. I believe he did it intentionally. I believe he did that
Yeah,
on purpose.
I think so that she can have more of bloodlust, and be more aggressive. Because you know how Tarkatan are like very kind of bloody, but very like good warriors. Maybe that was going through his head. I don't know. Or he was into those teeth, which is something I don't want to talk about. Oh my god.
Because look,
You-
if you look at the teeth of the Tarkatan and look how the Tarkatan is, you just to think, oh, okay, so that's there. That's how they are generally.
yeah, that's
But
their
when you look,
adaptation.
yeah, but when you look at Melina, it just sends a shiver down your spine. It's like,
Yeah, why do you think she has
oh,
like a veil in her mouth? That's a whole like story thing with her. She feels like she's ashamed of that she's actually a part Tarkatan due to what's I still to this day be like Chang Tsung did it to troll her. He just did it. He just did that for fun.
well, it was either that or it was just to make Shao Kahn angry.
True, which it kind of did. He was disappointed in her. Like he kind of felt ashamed.
But but on the other hand, Shao Kahn still preferred Melina over Kitana.
Yeah, because Kitana was like very rebellious. Plus, it wasn't his own daughter, technically speaking.
Yeah,
It's like his stepdaughter.
yeah. I'm just thinking, I'm just thinking, what did Shang Tsung use to make Melina? Did he take a bit of Kitana, Tarkatan blood, a bit of Shao Kahn, and just boosh, it worked?
I'll tell you what he took. He took like a big dose of weed and then started working and drank some, I don't know, whiskey or something and then started working.
It was probably April 20th at that time.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Go on.
But do you think in a way, do you have like some sympathy for Melina because
Of
people
course.
automatically reject her because of what she is?
Of course, that's like her whole story arc. How she, even like Kitana at first was like, she's like, what is this thing? Then later on, she actually sees her as her own sister multiple times. Like, you played Mortal Kombat 11, right?
Yes.
You've seen how she like dealt with like Melina. She didn't outright like try to murder her at the beginning or anything. She had sympathy for her quote unquote sister.
Yeah.
And then later on, well, we already warned with spoilers. She, F in the chat because of the bug lady, but that's another thing.
Oh
But you
yeah,
feel
that's
sympathy
from Mortal
throughout the
Kombat
whole
10.
thing. Yeah. Oh, Mortal Kombat 11 was with the time travel.
Yeah.
But you still feel so much sympathy for Melina. And the fact that she even knows her own flaw, because that's why her veil is very big part of her character. She always has her veil on, like of her mouth, if you noticed.
Yeah. Always at it.
Yeah, and that's why I think like if people looked at the side of her beside her being having teeth, Melina wouldn't be like as aggressive as she is now. Shao Kahn isn't a great dad.
Yeah. The one thing I like about Melina is how she can change her voice to Kitana's and just instantly just flip people's thinkings 180.
Yeah, well, she can because she's like a almost perfect, almost a clone of her.
Yeah, it's almost. We have to thank Shinsu for that. Almost.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah, thank you very much. I don't know if you had the black hair or you were old at the time, but thanks a lot.
Bro, he sucks souls. I met souls make him high at this point.
Dumb, profound idiot he is.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's high all the time. Like he seems like the guy who's like always like smoking something.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, the rivalry between Kitana and Melina is like one of my top five favorite rivalries from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, which one is your favorite?
I, in a way, I don't have like an actual favorite. There's just some
Mm.
rivalries that I like. Now, okay, this one is not really a rivalry. I think it's just more of a comp- just competition between the two, and that's between Jax and
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Cage.
Oh my god. There's also Kung Lao and Liu Kang also.
Yeah,
It's like,
yes,
oh
yes, yes.
yeah, those yeah. Johnny Cage went from an like I love Johnny Cage's like story arc. Johnny Cage goes from cocky Hollywood guy who punches people, in the privates, to a very
Still does
nice
it. Still does it.
father who still does it, of course. It's his signature move. I love his finishers too. Here's Johnny, and then he puts the Oscar in your head.
Yeah. So carry on.
Yeah, but the two best rivalries I think are the Sub-Zero rivalries in general. Him with Scorpion, which later on, they become friends, which is so wholesome when you see it like in Mortal Kombat 11, I mean. So wholesome seeing like Sub-Zero and Scorpion working together. And then
Yeah.
you have, of course, one of the sadder ones, I think, is Noob and Sub-Zero, which used to be the original Sub-Zero.
Yeah. Wait, if I'm not wrong, S- Scorpion is Hanzo, right?
Yes.
And yeah, and Hasashi.
Quagliang and
Hasashi.
Hanzo.
Wait,
Quagliang.
Hasashi is Kuali.
Quagliang. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember he's known as Grandmaster Hasashi.
Yeah. So okay. So there. Oh, sorry. Quagliang is Noob, which used to be the original Sub Zero. Master
Yeah.
Hasashi is Sub Zero current, and then you have Hanzo, which is Scorpion.
Yeah, so when you look at it, like some rivalries you can look at is Sub Zero Scorpion one,
This is very iconic. Like everyone knows this one.
Sub Zero Noob Saibot.
Yeah.
That is a sibling right. That is a sibling rivalry.
Yep.
Kitana Melina is
Sibling
one
rivalry.
sibling rivalry, of course. Would you
Cool.
say?
Cool.
Would you think?
Yeah.
Would you say Kotal Khan and Shao Kahn is one?
I was gonna say that also. I was thinking about it. Kotal Khan and Shao Kahn. It's a maybe, yeah, because both of them. Well, Kotal Khan was kind of loyal to Shao Kahn. It's just Shao Kahn like got oofed.
Yeah, big oof.
Could you say Shao Kahn and Liu Kang? Nah, not
Not
really.
really. No, not
Yeah.
really. Is I feel it's just like, and that will just be like Shao Kahn saying, "Take down anyone who tries to stop him," or something like that.
Yeah. Of course, Raiden has no. I think maybe Raiden and Shao Kahn actually. If you think about it,
Yeah, it can
it
work.
can, because they
It can
always
work.
like had like Mortal Kombat. These two.
Yeah, it can work.
Hmm. Of course, Kano and Sonya.
Hello, Sonya.
Oh my god, Kano is so hilarious.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, I
Cassie
agree. I agree.
Cage and what's it called? The guy's daughter. What's her name? I keep forgetting.
Jackie Briggs.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Again,
maybe
that
both of them.
for me,
This
that's
is
not kind of a rivalry. It's more of a Jax and
competition.
Johnny Cage. Yeah, competitive.
Yeah, they're both competitive.
Yeah, that
I, mm,
I think one we shouldn't forget is probably Raiden. Oh wait, now I'm having second thoughts about. I was going to say Raiden and Chronica, but every time
No, it's like maybe Chronica and and her brother. What's his name?
Shinnok.
Shinnok. Yes. Me. No, no. They were working together. To be honest, the whole like Raiden, like he doesn't have a rivalry except maybe with Shao Kahn because you have the Nether Realm and the Earth Realm fighting all the time.
Yeah,
Wait, it wasn't Nether Realm. It was
Outworld.
Outworld. Yeah. So that's the only way I can say it. Yeah, that's the biggest rivalry, like Earth Realm and Outworld, technically speaking, because this is where whole Mortal Kombat is. Man, more Elder Gods, I think, weren't properly developed throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, how about this one? How about this one? Kitana and Scarlett.
Oh, Scarlet or Jaden. We can also say Jaden because they're best friends, more like competitive. But yeah, I think yeah, Katara and Scarlet. Scarlet is very mean. Like, oh my God, Scarlet is hella sadistic.
Not only that, like I feel like she's also kind of how would I say? Like I don't know how to put it, but just like she just it's just like she always needs something from
Yeah, I was
someone.
gonna say
She's
something. I was gonna
very
say something
neat,
like that too.
probably needy,
Needy, yeah. Bro, she's technically a vampire.
without being a vampire.
My God. Oh my God. Shang Tsu has like problems with everyone. I don't know. Shang Tsu's like, can you say Shang Tsu and Quan Chi? Nah, they work together. Quan Chi is interesting to be honest. He used to be he's an interesting like case I think in general.
Yeah, Kochi is kind of interesting because I you don't see him in Mortal Kombat 11.
No,
I
you
know
do
that.
see you see him. I think in the you do see him. He's the whole one responsible for charging like Chronica's crown. Remember his well of souls.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, the one person I say who technically just disappeared off of the face of the planet, and even though he's one of the most iconic, in my opinion, like top five most iconic characters of all Mortal Kombat, is Goro.
Goro.
It's Goro has just got replaced by Shiva and the Tiger guy.
Queen Shiva.
Yep.
Wait, who was it? Wait, who was the tiger
Go.
guy?
I don't know his name. He was just a tiger guy with four arms. That's it, and breathes fire. That's all I remember. But man, I hate what they did to my man Goro. But I think he got killed by Liu Kang. That's why he got offed early, right?
Yeah, probably. Just get woofed and you're out of there.
Oh, bro, when you know when I saw Raiden and Liu Kang fuse, I was like, I knew it. Damn, epic.
Yep, it was about to go down like
It
Donkey
was about to
Kong.
go down. Yeah, also I like the relationship between Kitana and Liu Kang. It feels like very natural. And also Sonya and Johnny Cage kind of also.
Yeah, Luke King and Kitana's relationship is pretty much like a boy and a
Wholesome.
and a boy and a girl's relationship that parents don't want to happen.
It's what's very wholesome. It's a very wholesome relationship.
Yeah, for me, it would have been funny to see what would have happened if Melina had her way with Liu Kang.
Bruh, he wouldn't have a Shalong anymore.
So, oh yeah, here's a few characters we haven't talked much about. The first
Yeah.
one is wait. Oh my god, no. What was his name? Uh, I'm trying to remember. Chronica made him as power of sound. What was his name?
Oh, that guy who keeps reviving and again and again and again. Well, let me search it.
Yeah,
Okay, so let's see. No,
No,
what's it?
it's like it's like in my it's like it's in my head, it's in my mouth, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Gearus. There we go. Gearus.
Gearus, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Gearus.
Gearus.
That
And the
man,
yeah.
that man has given me a hard time. Has given me a hard time on Mortal Kombat X. Oh no, sorry, 11. He's giving me a hard time. Imagine trying to hit him and then he just teleports from front to back. It's just, oh my
Oh my god, I haven't played the game yet. I want to buy it one day and get it. By the way, also talking about the game in general, I love the DLCs that the Mortal Kombat 11 game gets to have.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
just
you
disappointed.
guys have freaking Terminator and Rambo.
Yeah, I'm just disappointed that we have to pay for it for those.
Well, it's a DLC.
To be fair.
So at least you didn't get what we had in Tekken 7. We had got like a DLC called Leroy Smith, and he used to be so broken, like crazy broken character.
Dang.
That's why I always get scared when DLC comes out in fighting games. I'm like, is he gonna be broken? Is he gonna be broken? Is he gonna be broken?
Anyways, what do you think of Frost?
Okay, I'm just gonna be honest here. I'm gonna get hate for this, but Frost sounds like a bitchy child. No offense, excuse my language also. That's it. She's like a child who complains all the time.
Mm,
She's
I
like
can
an
see where
angry child who's angry at her dad for not giving her something. She's like a Karen, but like those needy kids that you'd
yeah.
spoil too much. Exactly like that. Sub Zero was like it put too much faith on her, and then she's like, "I need to rule the clan. Who cares about the other clan? We need to kill them. Come on, let's go." And then he's like, "No," and then she starts getting angry at him.
Such a
But
disappointment.
yeah, one interesting aspect about her though is how she how she actually strives to be perfect and trying to prove that she's worthy of the clan. So indirectly, she's still looking up to Sub Zero and trying to prove that I could still run the clan. I am as strong as you. Blah blah blah. That's why she goes with Chronica. She to get more power.
But guess what?
She gets wrecked.
Yeah. I was gonna say she still failed.
Yeah, she got wrecked, man.
Still failed.
We also have the whole old Sub-Zero clan. Remember what they used to do in the past, and then they had the whole robot thing. That's a
Yeah,
weird plot line.
yeah.
Cyrax, I think. Yeah,
That pretty much just wrecked the whole. They just wrecked the whole clan.
yeah. What's it called? It's the story of Cyrax and what's his name? Also, the other guy.
Cyborg. No,
No,
sorry,
not
not sorry,
not Cyborg.
sorry. That's a DC. That's a
That was
DC type.
Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan. Oh my God, Teen Titan.
Dang. Triborg. I think it was
What?
Triborg.
No, I'm pretty sure I had a different name. So was it Aaron Black?
No, that's the cowboy.
Oh yeah, true.
I'm thinking of Triborg. Triborg.
Yeah, it's Triborg. Sector, yeah, that's the name.
Oh yeah, Sector. I remember
Yeah,
Sector.
it's Sector and so Sector was like the leader of was kind of like the big man of the old Sub-Zero clan, and Cyrax is poor guy, just put in the middle of the whole thing. Cyrax's story is so sad. He was just chill, doing minding his own thing, being nice. Then he just gets kidnapped and turned into a robot. Same thing with Smoke.
Hey, that was terrible.
Yeah. One of my favorite like combos in the all tag team game in Mortal Kombat was Noob and Smoke. I would just throw the smoke bomb, then teleport them. Smoke bomb, teleport them.
Oh boy, that seems
Er,
like fun.
yeah, Ermac was also one of my favorite characters. You get to eat people, unblockables everywhere with Ermac.
I I I only hate Ermac for one thing. Just the
Yeah,
one thing that's played a huge role in that Mortal Kombat in the whole Mortal Kombat franchise,
yeah.
and that was taking Jax's arms clean
Oh
off,
my god, every time.
clean off.
Yeah,
I
he's
said,
like,
I said, if this happened to any one of us in real life, we cannot recover from this.
homie's like, your arms are mine, boy, yeet, and then just pulls the arms off.
Ah, but then he gets, but then he gets these two strong jacked arms, and
Yeah.
basically,
But beats the hell out of people.
when I look at it, it's a win and it's a W and an L at the same time.
Hmm.
You know why? Because yes, your arms can punch hard, they're very strong, but you lost something natural. You lost your real. So that's a situation for him. That's a bit unfortunate.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, Bug Lady,
But I hate her. I just hate her.
Devora,
Devora, I just
Devora.
hate Devora. And her character is boring. She's like, I'm from a hive, I defend the hive, and that's it. We don't know anything about the hive. We never seen the hive, and she's very disgusting. I just hate Devora.
My question is, who did what to the hive? That's it. Who did what to the hive?
Bro, and why the hive do be like that, man? Why inject insects into people, man? I don't wanna. What is this, man?
It gives me a whole Alien versus Predator kind of vibes. And
Yeah,
if you know what I'm talking about, then you know.
yeah, I know. I very much know. We kind of mentioned it a little bit.
And look, I get the whole Alien versus Predator thing. I get what the I think it's called Xenomorph. I get what the
Yeah.
Xenomorph was doing. It's doing a 2-in-1. So
Yeah.
it's
But
killing
she's
you.
doing just a sadistic thing. She's not even like benefiting from it.
So if you played Mortal Kombat 11, for anyone who has, like one of the fatalities that Devora has is, I think she rips out part of your mouth. I don't remember that part, but I know she just spews something into your
Insects, yeah.
esophagus, and then next thing you know, you start twitching a lot, aggressively twitching, and then four long legs come out of you, and then the head.
Yep.
That is traumatizing for anyone who is not used to insects.
Oh, I hate divorce so much. She's like, ugh. She's just ugh. She's her character, like her story arc wasn't even that good. It's like, I serve this guy and Hive, yeah. Now I kill you. Yes.
So she's just there in the
Yeah.
franchise. She's just there and
Yep.
annoying as well.
And annoying. Yeah.
One character who people might try to question why he's there, but I feel like it's still a cool character, is Aaron Black.
Yeah. I don't know that much about Aaron Black, but what do you call it? He's a cool character. He's like a isn't he like hired by Cheng Sung
Well, I
or
think for him
something like
is
that?
um, I guess, but for him is basically wherever he finds the sweet dollar, that's where he goes.
Yeah, exactly. He's a cool character. Even though he
He's
doesn't serve anything, he's just cool.
Yeah, he's just like, if you got the
Devora is
money,
just disgusting. It's not Devora serves no purpose to the story, and she's not cool. She's just disgusting. Aaron Black, not much in the story, but he's just a badass, cool cowboy character.
And with Devora, you don't even know if it's a service or a disservice
Yeah.
that she killed Melina. You don't even know if it was
Yeah.
a good thing or a bad thing because you're just questioning
The
everything.
way yeah, she's like, why did she just kiss Melina with those teeth? And why did she just inject all those insects inside of her? What is going on? It's like you like regret everything. You know, if I ever see her like Devora coming at me trying to inject insects on me, I would commit seppuku at that second. I'm gonna be like, I die by honor. I'm not gonna get kissed and die.
Unless you had like thousands
Insecticide
thousands of liters of it.
or or insecticide, then I was just like, psh, I win.
I and like I said, you need to have thousands of liters because I think
Yeah, I was just
the
like,
whole bottle itself is not going to do anything.
yeah, maybe a slipper would work, like a big one.
I mean, if you had like a whole Godzilla or Kong and used their foot to step on Devora, then
Yeah,
that would
maybe.
work.
Yeah.
What about Cabal?
Cabal is also a very interesting character because he used to be friends with the cop, that cop guy that we never see again.
Yeah.
I even forgot his name. But there's one thing when you think about Cabal. He went from, oh, I need to get revenge on my cop friend who left me to die and let me to rot and like burn in fire, right? To this one word, speed. Cabal. You tell him anything, I am speed. Yo,
Yeah.
what do you want to eat today? Speed. What's your name? Speed. It's like that. This is the sad part about Cabal. His design is cool, but he's just speed.
Jeez. And I think it's just I don't I think for me I think it's just his feet that have speed. I don't know if his hands also have the speed.
Yeah,
Cause
but
if
he hurts. Though, like he kind of brutally hurts. You know, he has the hook swords thing.
yeah, the hook sword. I think that's just a cool thing, a cool weapon that he has. So he
Yeah,
can like, either slash you or hook you like a
like
fish.
pull you. Yeah, hook you like a fish.
Now, again, his fatality is also brutal and disgusting.
Doesn't he
Basically,
turn you into a blender? Does he like become a blender?
no. What he
Oh,
does
okay.
is he grabs you on the hook, puts you on the floor, runs
Oh
while
my
you are on
god.
the floor. So dragging your face on the ground, your eyeballs come up,
Oh yeah, I remember
and
that
then
one.
and then he throws you front. But then as he runs to the back, but while he runs to the back, he runs to the body's front and puts his sword in the middle, and then
And
the body
splits
just
into.
slides into two.
Oh my god, bruh.
It was just
Yeah.
I want to say B Tech Flash, but their
It's like way,
personalities are
way more brutal.
their,
It's
their
like,
personalities are so different.
yeah, it's way too
Again,
brutal.
Cabal is similar to Aaron Black, where he's like he goes where the sweet dollar takes him.
Yeah, but at least he has some backstory with Kano also, because Kano did save him, and then
Yeah,
he
but
left Kano and blah blah blah.
at the same time, Kano and Cabal is like a love hate.
Love hate relationships. Like, yo,
Yeah,
bro, come on, leave me alone. Let me do my thing. You're like, yo, homie, you left my gang. Now I gotta like beat you up because you left the gang.
yeah, that is that is something. So if I was
Hmm.
just looking at maybe 10 characters that I like from from the whole Mortal Kombat thing. Wait, actually, before I even get to that point, Cet Cetrion is the most probably one of the most annoying characters I have ever seen
I
for me.
think Chronica is more annoying than Sechion. The only, I'm just gonna be honest, villains from I think Mortal Kombat 10 and above, especially 11. 11 was the most disappointing villains, I think, in my opinion. The only like interesting quote unquote villain could be Shang Tsung, but even Shang Tsung didn't do that much. So like, yeah, it's like meh. All the other villains had like great stories, from Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat, Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat 1, that big lizard dragon guy that like literally wrecked everyone, to Goro, very iconic. All of these you can remember them, but like 11 and 10 is like, you know what's funny? I legitimately forgot who was. Oh, it was what do you call it? What's his name again?
Which one?
The other god, Citrion's brother.
That was
Shinnok.
yes, Sherlock.
Shinnok is kind of iconic. I think Shinnok is the only like best villain elder god between the three, the other two. Like Cetrion and Chronica, like, no, they're bad. Shinnok had actual story because he was there since like Mortal Kombat 4.
Yeah, and the whole thing of Cassie Cage saying that she defeated Sherlock. I'm thinking I'm like they allowed you to finish him off, but not that you did something to take him down. You were given
Yeah,
it. They just looked at and told you. They just told you finish him, and then
yeah,
you went and did
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
But then again, can't give her that much credit on that.
hmm She's still a cool character. I think Cassie's kind of a cool character.
Yeah, kind of cool and relates more to her dad than
Yeah.
you would to.
F in the chat for Sonia. She died. She died in such a stupid way.
Yeah, her. Yeah.
Oh, rocks! I fight like literal demigods and beings that can destroy rocks. I can't get out. Leave me alone, please.
Hmm.
Like she literally, I'm being serious. She fights beings that could easily like destroy those rocks, but she wasn't able to. Like, damn.
Big disappointment.
Yeah, but still sad death though.
Yeah. I think the one that suffered the most throughout the whole Mortal Kombat franchise was obviously Scorpion.
Yeah, Scorpion and Sub Zero had the saddest two stories. Because Sub
Because
Zero
like
lost his brother, Scorpion legit lost his everything, literally. Quan Chi just did pulled what's it called? Pulled like what's it called? I forgot. One second. Quan Chi just decided to murder his like everything he owned, like his whole family, his whole like bloodline, essentially. And then he's like, it's just a prank, bro. You know, nothing personal.
the way I look at it, I'm like, the clan is one thing. The clan's one thing. Like, take out the clan, but he's there. That's one thing. But then you take out his wife and child.
Bro, he even puts it on Sub Zero, like the old Sub Zero, Kuai
So
Liang.
so he basically did a Joker killing Lewis Lane, who was who was pregnant, to Superman.
Yeah,
That was
exactly,
that
something
was
like that. Yeah,
basically it.
yeah.
And Joker's just like, oh, just did something. He just did
Oh,
something.
oops. Yeah,
And when it comes to that whole Injustice movie, I'll talk about that another time. But that
yeah.
but
We need
that's
to
just
talk about that.
that's that
Oh, the new
that was
one.
just I
Are
saw
you talking?
the Injustice movie that came out this year.
Just I've seen some of all the only I've seen some of the scenes and I'm giga disappointed.
I I
I'm
watched it.
talking,
For me, when I watched the movie, I'm thinking, a good movie. I think the
but
story is still better in Injustice 2.
bro, when I saw some of the clips, I was like, okay, cool animation and all, but did you read the comics? Did you watch? Did you play the games? That's what I was thinking when I saw the clips. Maybe we're not talking about the same movie. I'm not sure. Is it the one? Wait, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen. We're just gonna mention this quickly because I think we're gonna, if we talk about Injustice, we're gonna stay here like another hour.
Yeah, make it
uh,
2 hours. Yeah, make this episode 2 hours, and this is not the last episode 2020. Even though that was still a good episode, we're not gonna take that long. So
yes.
carry on.
So yes, is it the one where Flash dies such a stupid death by like getting trapped by the fear gas, and then his head gets cut off, something like that?
It's I would say it's the movie where like Superman gets gets intoxicated by the fear gas
Yeah,
type thing.
fear gas. Yeah.
Sees Doomsday, tries to take out Doomsday, but then Batman tells him, "Yo, that's not Doomsday you're taking into space." And then when the whole toxic thing wore off,
It was too
and then
late.
it was just too late. It was loose,
No, I'm
lady.
talking about like one of the scenes. Like, did the Flash die because of the fear toxin in that movie or no?
Mm, no.
Okay, then we're talking about a different movie, I think. Because the movie I'm talking about, bro, you remember how Flash was like the guy who's like telling people that Superman's going too far? He's like the bridge in between, essentially, right? He's the moral of the heart of the Injustice crew. Can you say Superman's team, right?
Yeah.
In that movie, they literally just kill him at the beginning, and no one even notices. Literally, no one cares. That movie that I'm talking about.
For me, I think the surprising thing from Injustice was the fact that sometimes Batman wants I feel like Batman wants to kill some people, but just won't.
Yo, bro, Batman wants to kill the Joker. We already all know that, man.
He
Like,
just can't. But then Superman comes in and he wants to do it. And it's funny how that he wants to kill and doesn't do it. He's trying to tell Superman, no, it's not worth it. Don't do it. And then
no,
Superman is
dude,
just
I'm gonna
he
do your
just
job, bro. Boom.
he said he decides to go one punch man on
He,
Joker.
he went he went Liu Kang on he went all Liu Kang.
Yeah, he just went woof right through him.
Woof. Yeah,
And the
through
funny
his
thing
heart.
about it, the last thing Joker says, that's a punchline.
Oh my god, Joker. Typical Joker.
Hey, and yet, like, I know the moment he died, he realized he already did all the damage.
Yeah, he's like, IGG, I won. Easy.
He's like, GG.
GG, easy, I already won. Don't even need to stay
From the
alive.
if you're looking at it from the outside, you think Joker took an L, but to him to him, and you really think about it, like he already did what he like. He's made damages to the point where they cannot be fixed. I just
Hmm.
said, okay, my job here is done. You can kill me now.
Yep.
But then look at how the whole Justice League is split into two groups, and just I think that was probably one of the best stories that DC has come with,
Yeah.
either from the comics or from the game Injustice 2.
Yeah, in general, I think it's one of the best, like, ever. What's it called? Comic by DC. It's really interesting concept that everyone loves. It's like a fan favorite.
Yeah, and it comes to and the main question that people would ask is how are you going to defeat Superman?
Easy, kryptonite. Or tell him Lois Lane is alive. Psych, I was joking or something. But you die in the process, of course.
That is one way of saying that's one way of someone replying saying, so you have chosen death.
Yeah, exactly. So you go to Superman's like, hey, I've seen Lois Lane in this area. Follow me quickly. Where? He goes and then he's like, psych, I was joking. Ha 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 ha. And then you just
Die.
die. So you have chosen death. You die, but then Superman starts crying. So if you want to emotionally beat him, just mention Lois Lane.
Mm. So, and here's the thing. Also, in the Justice movie that I watch, there's Robin and there's Nightwing.
Yeah.
Nightwing dies.
How? That's my question. Was it a
Accident,
stupid?
accidentally got killed by Robin.
Yeah, but in the movie, does it show that he fell on a rock, or is it like just he just eaten the stick and died?
No, like Robin threw one of those
Yeah.
things that Batman has,
Yeah.
and accidentally got to Nightwing and killed him.
Oh, bro, do you know how many people got mad in that scene? Because in the comics, so he always trained with Damien, okay? So he's used to even if he gets hit, like it won't kill him. But he threw it, and then it hit him. He was off guard, so he fell on a rock that, like, essentially killed him because it broke his neck, his throat, I mean, or something like that. In the show, it's like just like he eats the stick and dies.
Boy. But here's one thing that I remember from the movie from the movie. Like
Yeah.
there's this superhero I don't remember. I don't know who he is. Don't know his
Amazo?
name. No, it's the one that can just turn either very big. No, I think it's
Plastic Man.
very small.
Oh, the
No,
atom
yeah.
guy.
So he carried a piece of kryptonite, went into went to Superman's brain and just made him all weak. He just made him weak. He cannot do anything. I was
Hmm.
thinking, I was thinking that is genius. But then obviously, someone I think it was probably Robin's granddad that that comes in, gives him a mask with some kind of gas, and
Hmm.
basically that can kill any being. But obviously, with Superman, it can't kill him because he's not human. But obviously, the person that was carrying that piece of kryptonite inside Superman's head died.
Yeah.
I was like, well, so much for genius. I
Yeah.
was like, well,
They almost pulled the Thanos with Ant-Man and Thanos.
hmm, they they pulled they pulled the Thanos. Oh, I remember in okay, this is different from the Injustice movie and Injustice 2. The movie Injustice 2 the game. Like
Hmm.
it's similar but the whole story was different. Cuz like the main villain in Injustice 2 was it was either Brainiac or Darkseid.
Yeah.
Very very Superman villains.
Yep.
So yeah, no, and I'm just going to say that the ending to the Injustice movie was disappointing. Yeah, now that I think
Yeah.
about it, the movie has disappointed in some ways. Like it was going in a good direction, but then it just disappointed. At least it's not as bad as the actual Injustice movie that came out 4 years ago.
Yep. True. True. True.
But now we're gonna now let's just take a huge leap and come back to the Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury thing.
Yes.
That is that is a big jump.
Yeah.
It's funny how it went from them to sibling rivalries to more to the Melina rivalry to Mortal
to
Kombat
so,
characters to
to
DC
injustice.
to Injustice and now back to where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to say this: if Tommy Fury wins, then he's going to do a lot of people a favor. He's going to do everyone a favor because if he wins, that will give him love and appreciation from the fans that hate Jake Paul, which is pretty much everyone, including myself.
Hmm.
Is probably going to advance his name even further, and who knows? But if he loses, oh boy, if he lo- I I look, the steak is already there. That is one thing bad enough. You are going to
Yeah,
you are going to ruin your family name if you lose
yeah,
to. Oh,
yeah. That's why big stakes.
and that's the thing that's interesting. There's actual stake. But all I'm going to say is Tommy Fury has to win. He has to
Yes,
win.
yeah.
There's no other way around. There's no other way around it. You have to win.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's no matter what, it looks but like when it comes to Jake Paul fighting people that he's fought, this is the most even fight that he's going to have.
Yep.
And that's
But
what happened.
yeah, so that's I agree with you. Yeah, it's gonna be the most even fight, and I think it's
And
gonna be an interesting one to watch.
hmm, so if I was gonna ask you right now, I'm gonna ask you two questions. Who do you want to win and who do you think is going to win? So there's basically what does your heart think and what does your head think?
My heart wants Toby to win. My head
Tommy, by the way.
thinks Tommy. Sorry, my
It's fine,
mispronunciation.
it's fine. Carry on.
So I think Fury should win. Okay, Tommy Fury should win, and I think I'm just gonna be honest. I think Logan's gonna win.
Jake.
No, Logan, because I hope he loses, and we'll call him Logan from now on. I think Jake is
now
gonna win.
now for me obviously like my heart says Tommy Fury. Be- Not because I want anything good for him, but just
I
pretty
just
much
don't want his name to. Don't want to give satisfaction for Jake Paul, you know?
yeah, I just don't want Jake Paul to just get any sort of um it's going to be like that situation where the person everyone hates wins and then they go on bragging about it for months.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But who do I think is going to win? I don't. I don't even know. I don't. Um, this is going to be something. The last. Oh my. The last time I came to a hard decision like this is when I thought who was going to win between Logan Paul and KSI when they fought in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I hope it's gonna be
I
something
was.
close
I
like
was.
that.
I was definitely. And here's the thing. I'm going to tell you this. But that fight happened in 2019. I actually thought Logan was going to win.
Oh, damn.
Yes, because of all just because of one thing, home advantage. Because the fight took place in America, took place in Los Angeles. So I thought Logan Paul had the advantage. That's in that. Oh, it's in his home country. His home country. So and to be fair, like home advantage does play a role in sports. It does
Mm-hmm.
play a role in sports. But then obviously I was wrong about that. So now, phew, oh boy. You know what? I'm going to stick with Tommy Fury. I'm saying Tommy Fury is going to win.
Okay, I'm gonna. I think I haven't seen Tommy Fury fight, so I think like Jake Paul would most probably win because I've seen him fight. So, but in the end, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a close game. I hope it's not a scam and they'd be like tie or something.
Yeah, I think something fight like that will probably will go down all the rounds and then come to a decision. That's what I think.
Yep.
It'll come down to the decision. And if it
Yeah,
does come
but
down to decisions, then probably will be Tommy Fury.
yeah, if it's decision, then yeah, most probably Tommy Fury because he will be more experienced in that sense.
Because if it comes to a KO, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. But you never know what happens in boxing.
You never know what happens in boxing. One point you think this is gonna happen, but then the other thing happens instead. Well, I'm gonna just leave it to the people listening to that. Who do you think is gonna win this fight between Tommy Fury and Jake Paul? Let us know in the comment section below. And I feel like this is a more than suitable place to wrap up this episode of the podcast.
Hmm.
So I just want to say thank you all for listening to episode 59 of the Into Reality podcast. If you did enjoy this episode, please leave a like on it. Write down any comments or thoughts you have of the podcast, and subscribe if you are new around here. We are trying to get this channel to 70 subscribers for now. The big target's 100. Well, for now, we're just trying to get to 70 subscribers. And I just want to say a huge thank you to Mr. Dubai for appearing onto the Into Reality podcast, covering, well, not, well, yes, you know, and the guy couldn't make it. So just say a huge thank you to Mr. Dubai for appearing on the podcast. It is such a pleasure to have you on it once again.
It was a pleasure to be here. It was a fun podcast, like always. I had so much fun having a conversation with you. Plus, we never had a podcast, both of us alone. So I think it was finally time for it, you know?
Yeah, it was expected because whenever you're here, it's just Abdullahi doing most of the talking. I was like, let me just see how this goes around because it's basically
Yeah.
like tennis, front and back, front and back, front and
Yeah,
back.
this was front and back. Yeah, this was front and back most of the time. Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously, we do have to say that this episode of the Interact podcast is proudly sponsored by Mr. Dubai and Co. Place your investments into them, and you'll be guaranteed a return. You can
Hmm.
also visit pvclothing.shop where you can get your positive vibes clothing. Link to that is in the description below. You can get free shipping for Irish orders over €60 and free shipping for international orders over €80. And don't forget, you can follow my social medias as you can see on the screen right over here. You can pause it if you want to grab anyone you want, but you don't have to do that because the link to them will be in the description below. Here's Abdullahi's socials as well.
Hmm.
And and for the last time, thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. You'll see us in 2 weeks time. Until then, wash your hands.